ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Okay, so we have to read from here. We are reading the biography of Lord Chaitanya. This is a summary biography that Prabhupada gave in Introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam, because Lord Chaitanya's life was actually a living Bhagavata. So from his life, we can learn a lot, and we need Lord Chaitanya's blessings as well to enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. And Lord Chaitanya has declared Srimad Bhagavatam as spotless Puran, means there is no impurity, no contamination at all, and it is the best of the Puranas. So therefore, we are reading about the life of Lord Chaitanya, and then we will enter into Srimad Bhagavatam with his blessings.
Mataji, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
It is said that Bhagavata Puran is like Shri Krishna only. It's an incarnation of Shri Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
So why they say like we need to read? So there are a lot of books, and if we go to temple also, we see a lot of books are there.
Yeah.
So what's the need of reading those books if this is incarnation and we are pleasing Krishna only by reading the Bhagavatam and
Yes. So you are right in one sense. So there are certain devotees who don't need to read any other books. They can only read Bhagavatam and still be very, very like elevated devotees, because
Mhm.
Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. But there are people who need to understand the philosophy behind it. Okay, because why would they want to read about Krishna? Who is Krishna? They want to understand. Uh, because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives certain instructions that when one applies, then you know, he understands. I mean, he gets his consciousness gets elevated, and his heart becomes prepared to receive Krishna in his heart, because Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. So nobody, I mean, not everyone is ready to receive Krishna yet, because Krishna's love is immense. Like, you need a good capacitor for Krishna's love also. So therefore, there are more books to learn about the philosophy. So Prabhupada has written a lot of smaller books as well: Journey of Self-Realization, Easy Journey to Other Planets, A Science of Reincarnation, so many other, and he is taking all this philosophy from Bhagavatam only. And
Okay.
other than that, he has written Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita lays the principles of devotion, what Krishna wants from us. And that display is done by devotees into Bhagavatam. So in Bhagavatam, we can directly read the pastimes, but underlying principles are discussed in Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Rutul Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All
Please
glories to Srila
accept.
Prabhupada.
Mine too. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so whenever you are ready to read, you can
Shall
raise
we
your
start?
hand.
Shall
Yes,
I
Mata.
start, Mataji?
Yeah. We can
There,
start. Yeah.
there are a number of
Yes.
instructive points to be observed in this incident of the two brothers. In this Kali Yuga, practically all people are of the quality of Jagai and Madhai. If they want to be relieved from the reactions of their misdeeds, they must take shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and after spiritual initiation thus refrain from those things which are prohibited in the Shastras. The prohibitory rules are dealt with in the Lord's teachings to Srila Rupa Goswami.
So just one
During
second,
his
Mataji,
householder life.
because in like earlier section, we were reading about these many pastimes that Lord Chaitanya was performing. So we read from his childhood, and now it is like when it is the pastime of Jagai and Madhai, who were like very great sinners, right? And how Lord Chaitanya actually delivered them by mercy of Nityananda Mahaprabhu, and Nityananda Mahaprabhu was got hit on his head by because I think Madhai threw a earthen pot toward him. So, but then Lord Chaitanya wanted to kill him through his with his chakra, but Nityananda Mahaprabhu stopped him and reminded him that you have come to give your mercy to everyone. So that's how they got delivered. But Lord Chaitanya said that now on you will not repeat any mistakes that you have done in past. Right. So from there, so that just I wanted to make a reference to that. Yeah. Move on,
Yes,
Mata.
during his householder life, the Lord didn't display many of the miracles which are generally expected from such personalities, but he did once perform a wonderful miracle in the house of Srinivasa Thakur. While Sankirtan was in full swing, he asked the devotees what they wanted to eat, and when he was informed that they wanted to eat mangoes, he asked for a seed of a mango, although this fruit was out of season. When the seed was brought to him, he sowed it in the yard of Srinivasa, and at once a creeper began to grow out of the seed. Within no time, this creeper became a full grown mango tree, heavy with more ripened fruits than the devotee could eat. The tree
Haribol.
remained in Srinivasa's yard, and from then on, the devotees used to take as many mangoes from the tree as they wanted.
Wow. Hmm. Yeah,
The
move
Lord
on,
had a
Mataji.
very
Hmm.
the Lord had a very high estimation of the affections of damsels of Vrajabhumi, Vrindavan, for Krishna, and in appreciation of their unalloyed service to the Lord, once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted the holy names of the gopis, cowherd girls, instead of the names of the Lord. At this time, some of his students, who were also disciples, came to see him, and when they
Disciples.
saw
Disciples
disciples,
means Shishyas. Yeah.
Shishya, came to see him, and when they saw that the Lord was chanting the name of the gopis, they were astonished. Out of sheer foolishness, they asked the Lord why he was chanting the name of the gopis and advised him to chant the name of the Krishna. The Lord, who was in ecstasy, was thus disturbed by these foolish students. He chastised them and chased them away. The students were almost the same age as the Lord, and thus they wrongly thought of the Lord as one of their peers. They held a meeting and resolved that they would attack the Lord if he dared to punish them again in such a manner. This incident provoked some malicious talks about the Lord on the part of the general public. When the Lord became aware of this, he began to consider the various types of men found in society. He noted that especially the students, professors, fruitative workers, yogics, non-devotees, and different type of atheists were all opposed to the devotional service of the Lord. My mission is to deliver all the fallen souls of this age, he thought. But if they commit offenses against me, thinking me to be an ordinary man, they will not benefit. If they are to begin their life of spiritual realization, they they must some way or another offer obeisances unto me. Thus the Lord decided to accept the renounced order of life, sannyasa, because people in general were inclined to offer respects to a sannyasi. 500 years ago, the condition of society was not as degraded as it is today. At that time, people would show respects to a sannyasi, and the sannyasi was rigid in following the rules and regulations of the renounced order of life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not very much in favor of the renounced order of life in this age of Kali. But that was the only for the reason that very few sannyasis in this age are able to observe the rules and regulation of sannyasa life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to accept the order and become an ideal sannyasi so that the general populace would show him respect. One is duty bound to show respect to a sannyasi, for a sannyasi is considered to be the master of all varnas and ashramas. While he was contemplating accepting a sannyasa order, it so happened that Keshava Bharti, a sannyasi of the Mayavadi school and resident of Katwa in Bengal, visited Navadvipa and was invited to dine with the Lord. When Keshava Bharti came to his house, the Lord asked him to award him the sannyasa order of life. This was a matter of formality. The sannyasa order is to be accepted from another sannyasi. Although the Lord was independent in all respect, still to keep up the formalities of the Shastras, he accepted the sannyasa order from Keshava Bharti, although Keshava Bharti was not in the Vaishnava Sampradaya.
Mm.
Shall I continue, Mataji? Or?
Yeah, if you can. Otherwise, whoever is ready, they can raise their hand also.
Oh, okay. After consulting with Keshava Bharati, the Lord left Navadvipa for Katwa to formally accept the sannyasa order of life. He was accompanied by Srila Nityananda Prabhu, Chandrasekhar Acharya, and Mukunda Datta. These three assisted him in the details of the ceremony. The incident of the Lord's accepting the sannyasa order is very elaborately described in the Chaitanya Bhagavata by Srila Vrindavan Dasa Thakur. Thus, at the end of his 24th year, the Lord accepted the sannyasa order of life in the month of Magha.
Magh.
After, Magh. After accepting this order, he became a full-fledged preacher of the Bhagavad Dharma. Although he was doing the same preaching work in his householder life, when he experienced some obstacles to his preaching, he sacrificed even the comfort of his home life for the sake of the fallen soul. In his householder life, his chief assistants were Srila Advait Prabhu and Srila Srivasa Thakur. But after he accepted the sannyasa order, his chief assistants became Srila Nityananda Prabhu, who was deputed to preach specifically in Bengal, and the six Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, headed by Srila Rupa and Sanatana, who were deputed to go to Vrindavan to excavate the present places of pilgrimage. The present city of Vrindavan and the importance of Rajbhumi were thus disclosed by the will of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Mm.
The Lord, after accepting the sannyasa order, at once wanted to start for Vrindavan. For 3 continuous days, he travelled in the Radha Desha, places where the Ganges doesn't flow. He was in full ecstasy over the idea of going to Vrindavan. However, Srila Nityananda diverted his path and brought him instead to the house of Advait Prabhu in Santipura. The Lord stayed at Sri Advaita Prabhu house for a few days, and knowing well that the Lord was leaving his heart and home for good, Sri Advait Prabhu sent his man to Navadvip to bring Mother Sachi to have a last meeting with her son. Some unscrupulous people say that Lord Chaitanya met his wife also after taking sannyasa and offered her his wooden sleeper for worship. But the authentic sources give no information about such a meeting. His mother met him at the house of Advaita Prabhu, and when she saw her son in sannyasa dress, she lamented. By way of compromise, she requested her son to make his headquarters in Puri so that she would easily be able to get information about him. The Lord granted this last desire of his beloved mother. After this incident, the Lord started for Puri, leaving all the residents of Navadvipa in an ocean of lamentation over his separation. The Lord visited many important places on the way to Puri. He visited the temple of Gopinathji, who had stolen condensed milk for his devotee Srila Madhavendra Puri. Since then, deity Gopinathji is well known as Shira uh,
Chora.
Chora, Gop, Chora
Yeah.
Gopinath.
Shire Chor Gopinath. Yeah.
Shira Chora Gopinath. The Lord relished this story with great pleasure. The propensity of stealing is there even in the absolute consciousness. But because this propensity is exhibited by the absolute, it loses its perverted nature and thus become worshipable even by Lord Chaitanya on the basis of the absolute consideration that the Lord and his stealing propensities are one and identical. This interesting story of Gopinathji is vividly explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishna Dasa Kaviraj Goswami.
Let us take a pause and just recap quickly, little bit. Yeah, it's so Lord Chaitanya. This is like we are reading the life of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So why did he take sannyas? Very quickly, because one time he was chanting Gopi Gopi. He was in a mood of ecstasy, completely absorbed. And then the students, his own students, came at that time and they observed him, and then they said, "Why are you chanting names of Gopi? You should chant Krishna." So they instructed the Lord himself, right? And then since Lord was already absorbed in those feelings, so he chastised them and he ran behind them with a stick. And then they all got very surprised that how he can do like that. And then they started blaspheming him and started talking bad about the Lord. Now Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. So if we are making an offense against Krishna, then there is no way to escape from this material world, and it is like a spiritual death for us. So that's why Lord Chaitanya wanted to take sannyas, so that people in general will uh, pay respect to his dress at least, right? So they will not get entangled into the offensive mentality directly to the Lord. So this is, see how merciful nature of Supreme Lord is, right? To protect us, to protect our consciousness, he is making a lot of sacrifice. So this is worth noting for all of us. Then he took sannyas from a Mayavadi. So Maya, that time the bhakti cult was not very much popular. People used to think that, oh, knowledge cult is better because we have to put our brain and intelligence and memorize verses and be refraining from so many things, and that difficult way of life can only be a way to reach God. So that was a popular sampradaya at that time. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made sure that he takes from a popular sampradaya so that it was a strategic decision basically to spread Krishna consciousness more widely. Okay, because people will accept him because he has taken, but actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke the verse or the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in Keshav Bharati's ears. And then he gave, I think Keshav Bharati or which one? No, sorry, before when he became Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that was Ishwar Puri. So he chanted that mantra in his ears, and then Ishwar Puri chanted in his ears. So actually, Lord is always Supreme Lord. And then there is this very, very heart melting pastime of his, shaving of his hair. He had very beautiful curly locks of hair, just like Krishna. And this barber Madhu, that pastime comes in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Very, very heart moving pastime. When he cuts the locks of his hair, he's crying so much. He takes his hair. Lord Chaitanya's hair are there in probably in Mayapur somewhere. They are there. They are still preserved. Uh, and see, at the end of his 24th year, he took sannyas. And then these six Goswamis, you might have seen on many altars, these six sannyasis are there, right? Six Goswamis. These their names are given: Rupa, Sanatan, Jiva, Gopal, Raghunath Das, and Raghunath Bhatta Goswamis. So they were actually, the head were Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, and they were disciples of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Vrindavan was almost like completely damaged by these Mughal emperors who actually ruled India for 700 years. So Lord Chaitanya instructed all these Goswamis to excavate the places. So Radha Kund, Sham Kund, all these places that are now visible in Vrindavan, this is the work of these 6 Goswamis. So that were all, they all got buried underneath and they excavated it, then now it is visible. So very important. Goswamis are not like just they will sit in a place and they will just chant. They are doing practical work as well. So that is worth learning for us. um, and then yes, after taking sannyas he wanted to go to Vrindavan, but what will happen if he goes to Vrindavan? He will never come back because he will completely get absorbed in ecstasy of Vrindavan. But he had to give holy name to everybody, right? And Nityanand Mahaprabhu knew this, so he he just told him that this way is Vrindavan, but actually Lord was going to Shantipur basically. So like that, his associates wanted to still have his association and get holy name distributed through Lord Chaitanya, right? And then he visited many important places, and this Madhavendra Puri story, Kshira Chora Gopinath, he used to hear that story so many times. He loved that Kshira Chora Gopinath story, and then Sakshi Gopal. So all this. Yeah, okay. So somebody else can read from here now. Or if no one is ready, I can read. Okay, I'll read. After visiting the temple of Kshirachora Gopinath of Remuna at Balasore in Odisha, the Lord proceeded toward Puri and on the way visited the temple of Sakshi Gopal, who appeared as a witness in the matter of 2 Brahmana devotees' family quarrel. The Lord heard the story of Sakshi Gopal with great pleasure. You also read Sakshi Gopal's story, okay, everyone, at your leisure, because he wanted to impress upon the atheists that worshipable deity in the temple approved by the great acharyas are not idols, as alleged by men with poor fund of knowledge. The deity in the temple is the Archa incarnation of personality of Godhead, and thus the deity is identical with the Lord in all respects. He responds to, so in Sakshi Gopal story, actually the deity became Sakshi or witness of dealing between 2 Brahmanas, and the deity spoke also. So if you will read that story, you will know. So this is what Lord Chaitanya wanted to establish, that these are not just statues. Okay, these are actually living deities, Archa incarnation of personality of Godhead. And the deities are identical with the Lord. Therefore, seva should be very sincere, like as if we are offering to Lord himself. He responds to the proportion of devotees' affection for him. The story of Sakshi Gopal, in which there was a family misunderstanding by 2 devotees of the Lord, in order to mitigate the turmoil as well as to show specific favor to his servitors, traveled from Vrindavan to Vidyanagar, a village in Odisha, in the form of his Archa incarnation. From there, the deity was brought to Cuttack, and thus the temple of Sakshi Gopal is even today visited by thousands of pilgrims on the way to Jagannath Puri. The Lord stayed overnight there and began to proceed toward Puri. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed there at Sakshi Gopal and began to proceed toward Puri. On the way, his sannyas rod was broken by Nityananda Prabhu. The Lord became apparently angry with him about this and went alone to Puri, leaving his companions behind. So these are all leelas, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has a mission. And what is his mission? To distribute Krishna's holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, to everyone. And in that way, actually, this is a gift wrap, actually, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given to everyone. And if you will open that wrapper by sincerely chanting, you will get Krishna Prem or Vraja Prem, which the gopis had. Okay. So this chanting of holy name is our only way to reach that destination of getting Krishna Prem, or reaching at the level of gopis, right? Where there will be pure love for Krishna. Okay, so That's why Nityanand Mahaprabhu wanted him to just go for distributing the holy name, because Lord, he is Lord himself, right? So what he distribute will be like in pure form, and people will get a lot of benefits. So it should reach to more and more people possible. At Puri, when he entered the temple of Jagannath, he became at once saturated with transcendental ecstasy and fell down on the floor of the temple unconscious. The custodians of the temple could not understand the transcendental feats of the Lord, but there was a great learned Pandita named Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya who was present, and he could understand that the Lord's losing his consciousness upon entering the Jagannath temple was not an ordinary thing. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was the chief appointed Pandit in the court of King of Odisha, Maharaj Prataprudra, was attracted by the youthful luster of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and could understand that such a transcendental trance was only rarely exhibited, and only then by topmost devotees who are already on transcendental plane in complete forgetfulness of material existence. So Lord was Krishna himself. His body was like very lustrous golden body. So people could easily get attracted that, wow, who is this personality? So similarly, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, who was like very, very known learned scholar of that point, he understood that this is not an ordinary activity, and nobody can like normally do this, like falling unconscious while seeing the deities. This was sheer love. Only a liberated soul could show such a transcendental feat, and Bhattacharya, who was vastly learned, because he was thinking on basis of Shastra, from Shastric Praman, he knew that this is not possible for an ordinary person. So he was vastly learned. He could understand this in the light of the transcendental literature with which he was familiar. He therefore asked the custodians of the temple not to disturb the unknown sannyasi. He asked them to take the Lord to his home so he could be further observed in his unconscious state. The Lord was at once carried to the home of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who at that time had sufficient power of authority due to his being the Sabha Pandit, or the state dean of faculty in Sanskrit literatures. So he was a well-known personality in the rule of Maharaj Prataprudra. He was given a lot of honor for his scholarship. The learned Pandit wanted to scrutinizingly test the transcendental feats of Lord Chaitanya, because often unscrupulous devotees imitate physical feats in order to flaunt transcendental achievement just to attract innocent people and take advantage of them. Right? So we see even now this is going on. That one person, he was always getting ready like Radharani. So he will wear sadi. He was a man, actually. He was a police inspector basically, and he just left his duties of police inspector, and he used to live like a lady, saying that I am Radha. So this is not, because Radha's position is already taken by Radharani. Nobody else can take her position. Anybody can become another gopi, but this person used to say that I am Radha. So already wrong, right? So such people, they are just showing off that, oh, I'm on such a elevated level, and then they take advantage of innocent people. So that's why Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wanted to know that whether this the reaction that Lord Chaitanya showed by seeing the deities is authentic or not. A learned scholar like Bhattacharya can detect such imposters. When he finds them out, he at once rejects them. So he will like announce that, no, this is not like authentic person. He is just showing off. In case of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Bhattacharya tested all symptoms in the light of the Shastras. He tested as a scientist, not as a foolish sentimentalist. He observed the movement of the stomach, the beating of the heart, and breathing of the nostrils. He also felt the pulse of the Lord and saw that all his bodily activities were in complete suspension. See, Lord Chaitanya is a walking Bhagavata. That means what? That he is so much immersed in love of Krishna that he just got unconscious looking at the deity of Jagannath ji, right? And he's showing all these symptoms. All his bodily activities were in complete suspension. When he put a small cotton swab before the nostrils, he found that there was a slight breathing as the fine fibers of cotton moved slightly, but all functions had stopped. Thus, he came to know that Lord's unconscious trance was genuine, and he began to treat him in prescribed fashion. Means like full respect, right? But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could only be treated in a special way. He would respond only to the resounding of the holy names of the Lord by his devotees. So we saw in our earlier readings also how when Lord Chaitanya was born, so he used to cry a lot so that people will chant his holy names and then he will calm down. And even the day he was born, it was it so happened that it was lunar eclipse, and on lunar eclipse people will come and bathe in the Ganges by chanting loudly the holy names of Lord Hari. So with his birth he brought this auspiciousness of chanting of holy name, right? So this time also he fell unconscious by seeing the deity, and he was not going to regain his consciousness until Lord's holy name was chanted before him. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was not a devotee yet. He was a great scholar only. He was a Gyani, but he was not a Bhakta, right? So this special treatment was unknown to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya because the Lord was still unknown to him. When the Bhattacharya saw him for the first time in the temple, he simply took him to be one of many pilgrims. In the meantime, the companions of the Lord who reached the temple a little after him heard of Lord's transcendental feats and of his being carried away by the Bhattacharya. So you remember now that Nityananda Mahaprabhu broke his rod, okay, and he threw it in the Ganges. So Lord Chaitanya got very angry at Nityananda Mahaprabhu and he told everybody that nobody should come with me. And he just went alone to Puri. And there he fell unconscious in the temple. And these people reached there later. Okay. So little after him, heard of Lord's transcendental feats and of his being carried away by the Bhattacharya. The pilgrims at the temple were still gossiping about the incident. But by chance, one of these pilgrims had met Gopinath Acharya, who was known to Gadadhar Pandit. So you know how we chant Panchatattva Mahamantra? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So this Gadadhar Pandit is eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya. Actually, Radharani herself has come as Gadadhar Pandit to participate in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, right? So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's son-in-law Gopinath Acharya was known to Gadadhar Pandit, okay? And from him, it was learned that the Lord was lying in unconscious state at the residence of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who happened to be the brother-in-law of Gopinath Acharya. All the members of the party, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was brother-in-law of Gopinath Acharya. Sorry, my bad. He was brother-in-law of Gopinath Acharya. All the members of the party were introduced by Gadadhar Pandit to Gopinath Acharya, who took them all to the house of Bhattacharya. So we will just finish with this paragraph, okay? It is a long one, but we'll finish quickly. Where the Lord was lying unconscious in a spiritual trance, all the members then chanted loudly the holy name of Lord Hari as usual, and the Lord regained his consciousness. After this, Bhattacharya received all the members of the party, including Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and asked them to become his guest of honor. The party, including the Lord, went for a bath in the sea, and the Bhattacharya arranged for their residence and meals at the house of Kashi Mishra. Gopinath Acharya, his brother-in-law, also assisted. There were some friendly talks about the Lord's divinity between the two brothers-in-law. And in this argument, Gopinath Acharya, who knew the Lord before, now tried to establish the Lord as personality of Godhead. And the Bhattacharya tried to establish him as one of the great devotees. Both of them argued from the angle of vision of authentic Shastras and not on the strength of sentimental vox populi. means whatever the talks go on popularly, they were not talking based on those. Like these days we receive so many WhatsApp messages which talk about Krishna and which talk about Mahabharat and different things, but there is no basis of Shastras, right? So many irrelevant WhatsApp messages are coming. So these two scholars were not, one was devotee, Gopinath Acharya. They were not talking based on popular gossips. They were talking based on the Shastras. And we should always remember, we should not accept anything from WhatsApp or any platform unless it is backed with a proper reference. The incarnations of God are determined by authentic Shastras, not by popular vote of foolish fanatics. Because Lord Chaitanya was an incarnation of God, in fact, foolish fanatics have proclaimed so many so-called incarnations of God in this age without referring to authentic scriptures. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya or Gopinath Acharya did not indulge in such foolish sentimentalism. On the contrary, both of them tried to establish or reject his divinity on the strength of authentic Shastras. So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was establishing him as devotee only. But Gopinath Acharya was establishing him as Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And both were talking based on their own knowledge, Shastric knowledge, based on the Shastras, right? And we will continue this story next time. So please remember that we are learning about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who will eventually become devotee of Lord Chaitanya very soon. Okay, so this is a beautiful story where we will come to know that how Krishna attracts different people of this world. Okay. So if any sharing is there, please share. Else we can just end here. Anything that you liked, you remembered. I know it's a short time, but even then, if you could share anything to enrich
Mataji,
our...
I have a question.
Yes.
You said that Lord Nityanand Prabhu kind of misguided, not misguided, but told the Lord that Vrindavan was the other way, and then he took him to the other place, and I can't
Yes.
remember the name. But
Shantipur.
Shantipur, yes. So I was just wondering that how can Lord be kind of he knows everything. So how do you kind of trick him?
Yeah, actually, I have heard from sannyasis, they are speaking on basis of Shastras that Lord's potencies work in such a way that sometimes they make him also forget to give him rasa, actually, and yeah, you are right that he knows everything, but he was also in deep ecstasy at that time, and there was some leela was supposed to be performed by the Lord. So that's why his energies work in such a way that that leela happens, because that will please the Lord most. Like Lord Ramachandra, we know he knew everything where Sita Devi was. But if you will read Valmiki Ramayana, you will know that how much he was crying. He was actually wailing, not even crying. Wailing means loudly crying and calling out for Sita. And he was remembering everything, how he spent time with Sita, how Sita is beautiful, and he was crying and telling to Lakshman all these things.